Hey guys, this is Tim Baldwin. I am doing my final project on the CenturyLink VoIP solution for the State of Texas Health and Human Services Commission. I personally work with this right now, so I figured it would be good to do the project on it as I had the most knowledge on it. Okay, so the types of phone systems in the state of Texas currently are Nortel's, Cisco, and Avaya systems. Now, each of these has their ups and downs. Um, Nortel's are great for small, medium-sized businesses and smaller branch offices. The only problem is it doesn't have a main server, so you have to have one of these at every single place, every single office. There is no main server. There's nothing that you can do to make it talk back to another location. Okay, so for Cisco, Cisco's great. It's scalable, manageable. It's extremely reliable. It's a cloud service voice gateway. So all you need in your locations are voice gateways that talk back to the cloud services that are hosted by Cisco or by um, whoever is hosting your services. This is great because uh, you can have multiple locations all talk to one place, and I can make all my changes in the communication manager, and it doesn't. I don't have to go to or dial into any of the any of these separate locations. I just okay. I pick this voice gateway, and I'm like, okay, I want to put this number in here, and I'm done. Um, so if we go into Avaya CM is essentially the same thing, but it's not cloud. There's a main server located in one location. For the state of Texas, we have two. We have uh, what we call as the Winners Building, and one is the Morton Building. So we have these two large servers, and then we have the voice gateways that are attached to each of the locations, and they talk back over the internet back to these back to the servers, which is also great. But what if the single location is down? What if the main server goes down? What do you do then? So that's the problem with Avaya, but Avaya is the most common that we have, and it's the most reliable currently that we have that state of Texas actually has. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our Nortel BCMs. So this is older technology. Currently, we're transitioning all of these out to Cisco UCMs. Um, you have to dial into these to make any kind of changes. So get the phone number that's located at the place, and then I have to dial into it, and it's just a big hassle for um, working in the field that we're working in because it I have to dial into every single one. And that means I have to remember all the different places. So I have to store all this information, and then uh, you have to log into it. So um, basically, it's older, it's being transitioned out, and now we are you can't be integrating these can't be integrated together. So I can't take this BCM and the BCM from another location down the street and be able to talk to both of them at the same time. It's not possible. So that's why these are being transitioned out. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Cisco UCMs. Cisco uses their voice gateways, as I said, to talk back to the main HCS server, which is located um, in one central location. Cloud services for Cisco is the normal basis. So I can have I can have one of these in each location and have it talk back to the main server, and then I can log into the main server and not have to worry about anything else. This makes it easier for CenturyLink to make the changes that are needed. Somebody you have a person hired on at the state of Texas, and you have to change their phone, you have to change the password, you have to uh, change all this stuff. And the reason why we have to do that is because of the HIPAA in the for the Health and Human Services. So I don't know if you guys know much about HIPAA, but a lot of things are sensitive. It's a lot of sensitive information. So when we take the voicemails, we have to delete the entire extension. We have to delete the voicemail. Nobody can listen to it. We're not even allowed to have other people are not allowed to have access to their other voicemails. So this makes it easier for us. So we can hit delete, 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 and then add, and it's done. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Avaya. Avaya is currently the most common system we have at or at the State of Texas Health and Human Services. We talk back to two main servers, Winners and the Morton Building, and you just need your voice gateway at each location. It's very simple. I can take my ASA, which is basically the GUI for, in layman's terms, it's the GUI to talk to the machine or talk to that server and say, hey, I need to make this change. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. But so we have the two servers and we don't have to worry about having a whole bunch of different places. So this makes it a whole lot easier for CenturyLink to make the changes that it needs to make for the company, which it proceeds to be a lot. So what did CenturyLink offer State of Texas? We offered them MacWork, which is move, add, change, delete. Basic thing I've been talking about. Makes it a whole lot easier for us to do when we have everything that's integrated into a single server or a single hosted location. So we also offered the monitoring of voice systems. This means all the trunks, the DS1s that come into the building. So that we have to be able to look at all this stuff. And in the two systems, we actually can look at all these different things. So having those servers in one location is great. We offered hosted via VoIP services, which is the Avaya system. We took control of the Avaya system and put the main server in the location. Cloud-based VoIP services. We took our Cisco and we are installing voice gateways in the locations that need them, and we are going back to the cloud for them. Trunk monitoring, again, this is for making sure that we are able to get voice services to the locations. The trunks are 24 ports, and so for 24 ports, you have one person for every port, so it's 24 people. And if those trunks go down, then that's 24 people that don't have phone systems. So we monitor that on a daily basis. Okay, so let's get into MacWork on the Avaya system. MacWork, it's primary in our SOT infrastructure. I've put a picture on the background on the slide here, and this has absolutely nothing to do with state of Texas. So this is nothing, but it does give you a basic on how we can. It'll say change station, so we can change the name. We can change what room it's in, where it's, what floor it's on, building, so we know the location of the actual port the phone is on. And this is the 24 ports that I'm talking about. So each of the Avaya locations have 20, each trunk will have 24 ports in it, and we send those ports out to whatever phone needs to be initialized. So this is really self-explanatory. Some of the commands are a little rough, but it's easy to use. So that gives us a plus side in this because when it's not easy to use, it takes longer. Okay, so we're going to look at a little Mac work on the UCM. UCM is a little more complicated due to the fact that all Cisco phones have Macs, but this is part of the reason why it's a cloud-based service. All of your Macs have to go back to the correct phone, and so on and so forth. I do not work with specifically with the Cisco side, so I cannot go more into it other than the fact that they have Macs that are needed, and those Macs go to certain phones, and if they're unplugged, then basically that phone can be transferred to another office and plugged in, and it'll work again just like it was. In a VIA, you can't do that. If I take my phone and move it to a new office, that port for a VIA has to be changed. So this makes it easier in some respects. Okay, so I'm going to go in a little bit about monitoring our systems in ASA. I put a picture up. So this is a standard DS1 performance test that we do. You have error seconds, slips, unavailable seconds that we take a look at. And this will tell us if the F1 cable is going bad or they're having issues with it or it's something with the carrier. We CenturyLink is not there's a difference between hosting the services and carrier for the services, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So the economic impact um, for state of Texas and for CenturyLink, uh, when we took over, we basically we created for CenturyLink we created a lot of jobs in the area. Um, we all know that Texas is a large state, and there are certain regions that have to be covered by certain people. So the people who are working in Houston can't go all the way up to Wichita Falls or whatever, all the way up in the Panhandle. It's just too far to drive. Those regions are huge. We needed more people. State of Texas, um, their impact is they're paying less for the voice services that we are giving them over time. So since the state of Texas is paying less for their services, that's able to give them a little more leeway on what they can do for their clients. Their clients range from we have hospitals, so you've got hospital issues, all the way to uh, uh, WIC and things like that. We have WIC offices that we support. So WIC helps kids, and yeah, we all know it, we know it's welfare, but it because the state's not having to pay a ton of money for these services or what they used to pay or whatever, they can spend more of that money in a different area, which is great for the the funds that they have there. Biggest thing is that now they have the fun. They have I'm not saying they have a whole bunch of extra funds, but now they have extra funds to help the people that had problems during the hurricanes. So this is a great way that the economic impact has increased the value of the area. Okay, so let's get into my personal experience with CenturyLink and the state of Texas. Um, Things that I've noticed. Uh, Biggest thing in the beginning, the project was very hectic, trying to change over a whole bunch of sites, uh, and it was just it felt like a fumble through the days to get working. Uh, we got through the issues, and now we're in a better place, both on CenturyLink side and the state of Texas side. We now that we can control all the stuff that's being thrown at us, we spend less time on. We have less downtime for them than we do than we do the uptime. The uptime is much greater now that we have our solution intact in the areas. Um, so one of the negative sides that I've seen is that communication between the two has been a problem. Um, the state wants something done very specifically. CenturyLink can or cannot do that depending on what they want or what's stated in the contract. Um, but communication is key, and when we don't have that, we tend to get locked down in everything. Nobody wants to talk to each other, and then everything just gets thrown out of whack. So I believe that if we have more communication in the way we do things and can handle things, it would be better for everybody in the area. Um, Biggest thing that I've seen on state of Texas side is their ticket accountability. The issues with them sending in tickets that don't have full information um, are is a it's a problem because we can't do the work that we want that they need us to do if it doesn't have the information on it. It is a new ticketing system for them. They're in process of learning it and getting that under control. I think it'll be better over time. Um, so overall, the VoIP solution that CenturyLink has put in place for the state of Texas has been an ordeal in general. To change out 85,000 extensions to something that is controllable by one company and now is controlled by another company, i.e., whoever had it before CenturyLink, and now CenturyLink has it. So we had to go in and take out all the mess up and garbage that we thought was wrong with the old system and replace it, i.e., the BCMs. The BCMs are horrible for the type of solution that HHSC needs. So that's why we're replacing them all with Cisco and Avaya systems. Everybody will be on the same servers. There won't be problems. If somebody moves from one location to another location, and they're on the same server, we can just take all that information and put it over to the new extension. No big deal. The project will probably be getting um, easier over time as there's less hiccups in everything that needs to be done. So that's really about it, and I hope you guys have learned at least a little bit about CenturyLink and about the HHSC system and the VoIP system in general. There are three products that I discussed here: the Nortel BCMs, the Cisco UCM and voice gateways, as well as the Avaya systems, ASA, and the gateways for that system. Uh, all of these integrate together for our company, and to keep everything on track is really important for everyone. Voice in every it doesn't matter whether it's at CenturyLink, it doesn't matter whether it's at State of Texas or in the middle of uh, Egypt somewhere. VoIP is going to be critical at this point. Our communication for everybody is key, and having these solutions and being able to have the uptime is going to be uh, very intense because it used to be that uh, in the 90s, for example, you had to call and designate a time frame to call across the ocean. We don't have that anymore. You don't if I want to call Japan, I can call Japan. If I want to call England, I can call England. There is no more let me wait in line for a line to open. Everything is changing. Uh, Tomorrow, the Avaya systems could be out of date. Tomorrow, the day after that, the Cisco systems could be out of date because something new is coming along every day. Um, and I want to thank you guys for watching this and hanging out with me in this presentation. Here are my references. A lot of the stuff I really I got a lot of it from the Avaya site, Cisco site, and the Nortel site, or what's left over of the Nortel site. Um, and most of it came from my personal experience there. So I hope you guys liked everything. I hope you guys learned a lot. Thanks for listening.